We are going to start the session. So slowly all will be joining. Yes, Preeti, Surya. These are the few of the questions with respect to the day one, understanding of anthropology and introduction to anthropology for that. So Preeti,
Yes, sir.
there is a question. If I ask you, it will be an interactive session. What is anthropology? How you will answer?
So anthropology is a discipline that focuses on the study of man. It is basically to answer what we are as humans, where do we come from, what is our culture, why are we following certain habits, values, ideologies, where the reason behind them, similarities between different communities, differences. So it
Very
is
good.
all about ourselves.
Very good, very good. So, perfect. With that, I will add a few points. So, anthropology is about studying about ourselves in human societies and cultures and their development, biological, cultural, social, in all contexts, in different geographies, in different time scales. Understanding about ourselves, the curiosity of the man is called as anthropology. Correct. So, what are the fields of anthropology? What are the disciplines of anthropology? What are the subdisciplines of anthropology? If that is the question, Surya, try to answer by unlocking your audio.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, anthropology, according to Franz Boas, is mainly divided into four branches, sir. Socio-cultural anthropology, archaeological anthropology, physical anthropology or biological anthropology, and finally it is the
Linguistic anthropology.
linguistic anthropology, yes, sir.
Very good. So if there is a question about, so as you told about linguistic anthropology, what is gottochronology? We will be developing the content like that. We will do.
Yes, sir.
What is gottochronology?
Mm. Sir, I'm not aware of it, sir.
Yes, Preeti, what is gottochronology?
I also don't know the exact definition, but something that has to do with a voice or speech. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
true, 100% true. But it is a PYQ question of 2023 mains question. So it's a very favorite question for UPSC. Gottochronology is nothing but understanding the evolution of language, biological evolution and cultural evolution, how the language has been evolved. The studies regarding evolution of language is called as gottochronology. Gotto in Greek, it is called as language. So language chronology, how the language has been evolved chronologically. So that is with respect to linguistic anthropology. Okay? Yes. So again, Surya, for you, how anthropology is helpful for mankind?
Uh, Sir, anthropology studies essentially why humans are, how we are and what we are, sir. So, in every aspect of humans, anthropology is used. For instance, mainly in studies of tribals and their development, and further new fields such as sports anthropology and other applications, which are which ensure that human studies are focused and the cultural diversity is understood in various ways, sir.
Very good. Preeti, any point you want to add?
Yes, sir. In this globalized world where we are interacting with different cultures, different kinds of people, it will help us to understand them and as well as to foster a feeling of oneness between the people. It will
Very
promote harmony and brotherhood. I think that is.
perfect. With that, we can also add, it explains about why we are diverse. It explains about what are the difference, why we are racially different, why we are caste-wise different, why we are class-wise different. So the understanding of the differences between the people in order to establish, as you told, harmony. Very good. Yes. So as you are from anthropology optional, how diffusionism will help you to understand the man?
For whom is the questions?
Huh?
Uh, you're asking us to answer? Who should
Yes.
answer?
Yes.
Can I answer, sir?
Yes, Preeti.
So diffusionism, right? Sorry, your voice was breaking earlier. So can you repeat the question?
How diffusionism will help to understand the man?
So diffusionism is anthropological theory which says that the cultural traits that we follow are basically by copying from other cultures. So it tells us how man learns from others, learns things that are useful for him, that are different. So it will lead to diversity of cultures. In today's time, also, we are following cultures of different societies from different parts of the world. So it helps us understand how culture is evolving through influence of other peoples.
Very good. How the culture change is happening, whether it can be acculturation or enculturation, why the transformation, we can understand the reason behind it. Very good. So, Surya, there is a question for you. I tell anthropology is a Western discipline, but not global discipline. What do you say?
Yes, sir, I agree with that statement, sir. Because origins of, if we consider origins of anthropology, most of that systems are theories and other applications have initial beginnings in Western universities, sir. So it can be said to be a Western discipline, but their subject of study as well as the new emerging anthropologies are from the Eastern world, sir, including India. So, and Eastern world anthropologists have given their own dimension of anthropology. So it is not a global discipline, but it is both Western and Eastern. Like both are contributing equally to the disciplines.
So, hence it is called as global discipline.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, Preeti, we generally tell that the evolution of anthropology in India started with Asiatic Society of Bengal establishment in 1774. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So, according to you, what are the contributions of Asiatic Society of Bengal? Why that much big importance is given to Asiatic Society of Bengal? Yes or no?
Sorry, sir, I don't know what are the exact contributions.
See, we will be understanding the same, that the formative process, in the formative phase of evolution, it is the Asiatic Society of Bengal which is responsible for evolution of anthropology in India. So, Asiatic Society of Bengal, I will tell you, very important. So, why 1774 Asiatic Society of Bengal is regarded as the beginning of anthropology? Mainly because the first works of archaeological evidences started through this institution. So, all the archaeological works in India was being executed by Asiatic Society of India. This is the only reason. So, the archaeological works done and the observations were being done through Asiatic Society of Bengal, and a magazine was being released by Asiatic Society of Bengal, which is called as Indian Antiquity. So, all the things with respect to antiquities and archaeological evidences were being published through this particular magazine of Asiatic Society of Bengal, hence it is prominent. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ranjit Kumar and Rohit, my question is to you. So, what are the contributions of British anthropologists to Indian anthropology, and what are the contributions of American anthropologists to Indian anthropology evolution?
Mm. So American anthropologists like Robert Redfield and Oscar Lewis and Opler and Soltax, these had contributions where village studies were inspired by them from Redfield's research on Mexico, and Soltax brought the more applied anthropological part of view, which was again taken
No,
up
no.
by Indian.
First you listen. It's about how we present also. First you tell about British, then you tell about American. I ask you two questions. You are telling
Yes.
about Robert Redfield. Robert Redfield is an American.
Yes. Okay, I'll start with British. So, Britishers started the anthropological discipline in India with the Asiatic Society by William Jones. Eventually, more Britishers like VHR Rivers, he conducted his research on Todas. Uh, I think
And
Robert
again,
Brown.
one more thing. I know you know everything, but still, please don't use the word I think or I guess. Please, if you do the practice, then you can remove the word in the final thing. Just I want to recommend you. Okay.
So thank you. Okay, and Robert Radcliffe Brown conducted his studies on the Andaman Islanders. Robert Bruce Foote found the Atirampakam site of Lower Paleolithic in Tamil Nadu, and so that is the contribution of British anthropologists. Apart from that, there were some colonial administrators also who were not full-time anthropologists, but also contributed in ethnographic evidence collection of Indian tribes. Eventually, post independence, American anthropologists were the ones who influenced Indian anthropology, where Robert Redfield is the biggest name, where he contributed to the evolution of village studies in India. Also, people like LP Vidyarthi, D.N. Majumdar went to US for their for further studies, which also had a huge impact on their research in India.
Few names you have to remember, like Robert, as you told, Robert Redfield, Mickey Marriott, Hitchcock, Oscar Lewis, Milton Singer. So few names. Mainly they focused on village studies, Americans, and psychological studies. Whereas British anthropologists, their main focus was on tribal studies. This is a major difference between both of them.
Okay,
Yes. Yes. Preeti, my question to you, as there was a discussion about British anthropologists, there is a famous anthropologist called as Very Relvin, who is responsible for tribal Panchashil. So, what is tribal Panchashil?
Yes, tri- tribal Panchsheel was a policy that was developed during Nehru's prime ministership with the help of Very Relvin. It mainly recommended that tribals should not be forced upon to change their culture. They must, if they choose to integrate with the wider Indian culture, they should do it on their own accord. And it also recommended that the administration should be to a limited area. In the sense, it should not be over administrated, the tribal areas, and the outcomes of tribal development should not be on uh, quantitative parameters rather than the qualitative parameters. So it basically underlines holistic development of tribals without too much interference from the governments.
Very good. Surya, I tell that tribal Panchashil is relevant today as well.
Yeah, yes, sir. Tribal Panchil is very relevant, sir. Uh, if we see the government policy wise, it is the doctrine that is ideally supposed to be implemented, sir, in every aspect of tribal development programs, including the tribal subplan. Uh, from a practical standpoint, also, tribal Panchil is a way forward to ensure that tribals gain basic human rights as well as their cultural traditions and are protected, sir. It is the ideal way to move forward, sir, in both from the government side as well as ensuring tribal development.
So, see, very good. I appreciate it. From my point of view, I will tell you non-imposition. The culture should not be imposed from outside. Their indigenous culture need to be promoted. Non-imposition. Number two, land rights need to be protected or given. Number two. Number three, as Preeti told, over over administration should not be there. Multiplicity of schemes should not be there. Four, tribals, the team of tribals should be there, and this team of tribals should be trained such that they will be administering themselves and their culture need to be protected. Merely these five things. So today, with
Yes, sir.
examples, you have to tell. Dongria Kond, their land rights are not protected. There are few tribal communities in Andaman Nicobar Island who are losing their culture, like Bo tribal community of Andaman Nicobar Island. The last person who spoke or who had Bo language became extinct. So it is today also there is relevant. If with examples, if you tell, no, it will be more perfect.
Yes, sir.
Jinath, what is the role of S.C. Roy in evolution of Indian anthropology? Please be quicker. Rohit,
Yes, sir.
please tell me.
So S.C. Roy is also considered as father of Indian anthropology in a lot of ways. He has contributed in all aspects of anthropology. So, like he contributed into socio-cultural anthropology with his fieldwork. Also, he was a part of data collection and writing ethnography. He is popular among the Mundas, where he wrote multiple ethnographies on Mundas and Ho community. On the physical anthropology aspect as well, he has conducted some tests. I don't remember exactly, but he also worked with Mahalanobis and come up with some specific statistic model. And more importantly, he collaborated with the Britishers as well. And colonial ethnographers like Hutton has also appreciated SC Roy work. And even one of the anthropologists, uh, few other later, like D.N. Majumdar, when he visited Munda community, they chanted SC Roy ki jai, and which was the most astonishing achievement of SC Roy.
Very good. And S.C. Roy is also called as action anthropologist because
Yes.
he not only did ethnography on Munda, he worked for them. And
Yes.
he became MLA, and after becoming the MLA of that particular region, he had developed the regions where the Munda people were been living. Hence, he is a real example of action anthropology.
Yes.
See, daily I will be giving the content. In that content, I will be giving lot of new anthropologist names. If they ask also, you will be in a position to answer. Like K.P. Chattopadhyaya, R.P. Chanda, brachycephalization, Astosh Mukhopadhyaya. So little bit more information. Iyer, as you know, Ananta Krishnan Iyer. So more information I will be giving. It will be helpful to remember. Just bullet points are there here. Yes. There is something called as Hindu methods of tribal absorption, which has been explained by Nirmal Kumar Bose. Hindu methods of tribal absorption. Anyone have any idea?
Uh, can I speak, sir?
Yes.
So it was a theoretical framework which was given by Nirmal Bose, who belonged to analytical school of anthropology in the later stages. And according to this theory, when a tribal community uh, comes in contact with Hindu society, they start emulating their they start emulating the Hindu culture and Hindu way of life, and in some way adopt a caste system and have moved from egalitarian society to stratified society, and adopting division of labor and all the aspects of Hindu society.
There is a person, Surya, who told that tribals are backward Hindus. Who is that person?
Uh,
Sir,
Guha, sorry, Gure.
yes.
In which context he told about the tribes are backward Hindus?
So he was like, he's
No,
in.
let Surya is on the line.
Sorry.
Uh, Sir, he considered tribals as backward Hindus from the standpoint of developmental needs, sir. He considered that there are many similarities between tribals and lower castes of the village systems also. So if similar approach is used, then there is a possibility of even development between all sections of the society, sir.
So there is a debate called as assimilation, isolationism, and integrationalism. Who are the anthropologists associated with those approaches, and what is the debate? Yes, Rajit Kumar.
Post independence, there were three different approaches for tribal integration that were discussed. So, isolationist approach was given by Warrior Elvin, where he gave the national park theory and gave the slogan that leave the tribals alone. So he didn't want tribals to integrate to basically merge with the mainstream society. Second view was of Courier. He wanted the assimilationist view, where he considered tribals to be backward Hindus and wanted them to become part of the mainstream society. The third uh, approach was
Approach.
of N.K. Bose. He gave the integrationist approach, where he said that the tribals should access the facilities of the mainstream, but also should preserve their culture, and the government should take steps to preserve their culture, which was seen in fifth schedule, sixth schedule, and other such acts.
Whether Very Relevant was rigid with respect to isolationism, or later he changed his approach.
Later, he changed his approach, where he admitted his mistake and thought that the pure isolation is not the correct way, and some degree of integration should be taken up.
Yes. And one more thing, you told national park approach. I understood what is national park approach. So this national park approach of very relevant was copied from where and what was the name?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware where did he get the idea from.
It's a popular approach. That is the reason I'm asking. Anyone? In USA, there is an approach called as sanctuary approach for the Zuma Indians, for Red Indians, for Iroquois Indians, whereby they used to call that these are sanctuaries for tribals. So how the animals will be living in the sanctuary? Similarly, they believed that these tribals will be living in the sanctuaries so that they will be isolated. The same approach of sanctuary approach was been copied into India by very relevant by the name called as national park approach. Okay?
Thank you. Yes.
B.K. Roy Burman, he is very famous for two concepts. Means he is the beginner or is the initiator of the concept called as nation and subnation and the concept called as buffer zone. So what the B.K. Roy Burman's concept of nation and subnation and buffer zone? Preeti.
Sorry, sir, I don't know this concept.
Yes, Rohit.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of exactly.
Anyone?
Sir, I know about the buffer zones. So buffer zones, the concept of buffer zone as given by B.K. Roy Burman says that when there are two different cultures which are present side by side, there is a small boundary between them where the elements from both the cultures are found, and it is the most diverse kind of area that is found, and that zone he called as buffer zone.
Okay. See, similarly, nation and subnation is nothing but subcultures, where how we have the subcultures, like a person who, as told by, if you remember, Cora Du Bois. Cora Du Bois had discussed about subcultures. The people will be having the culture, but however, they will be also following the subcultures, which are at the grassroots level, which are at the down the line. So those are called as subnations according to Roy Burman. So there is another buffer zone with respect to protection of environment. Anyone know about it?
So the eco-sensitive zones.
So
So,
what
so
what is
basically, the eco-sensitive zones are the areas around the national parks which are which have some restrictions, not as much as the national parks, but lesser than them. So we can say that they have attributes of both national protected area and non-protected areas.
P.K. Baumek is very famous for doing ethnography on one particular tribal community called as Loda. So on Loda, they worshipped him like a god. Why? Yes, Rohit.
The Lodha community were marked as criminal tribes as per British laws, and Professor Bhomik came out in front and campaigned against this uh, unjustified legislation and helped them to come out of this. Also, he has came up with society in the Lodha community which is still functioning, and he helped in their education and health parameters improvement as well. I don't remember the name of the society, but it's working in some places. And his daughter is also a part of the society.
Yes, very good. Nirmal Kumar Bose had devised a model. Nirmal Kumar Bose had devised a model called as Swaraj model. Actually, I expected 2024 mains question. This is what is the Swaraj model of Nirmal Kumar Bose, NK Bose? Anyone? Which is important. Few things, such type of questions we will be discussing. Few facts. Swaraj model is nothing. We know that as Nirmal Kumar Bose was also a freedom fighter, he's a follower of Gandhi. He was an archaeologist. So he told that how we are fighting for our freedom in order to protect our indigenous. Similarly, because of the interaction between the tribe and caste, the tribes are also fighting for their Swaraj, their indigenous things. So when there is interaction is happening between both of them, as we know that Nirmal Kumar Bose had promoted integrationalism. So in this particular contact, the tribe should not lose their genuinity, their genus, their original culture. So their Swaraj should be protected. Their way of living should be protected. So hence the contact should happen. The development should happen. The fruits of independence and the fruits of development should be shared. But the tribe should not lose their Swaraj. The tribe should continue their own way of living. That is called a Swaraj model of NK Bose. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, anthropology in Africa, we know this. Yes. There is a very big debate with respect to father of anthropology. Tell me, who is father of anthropology?
E.B. Taylor.
Yes, you asked me.
Yeah. No, yeah. Okay, so E.B. Taylor is considered as the father of modern anthropology because he first came up with the definition of
So
culture.
you told E.B. Taylor. Any other answers? Father of anthropology?
Sir, even Charles Darwin, to some extent, can be said to be father of anthropology, sir, because he was the one who introduced evolutionism, which was later adopted by classical evolutionists such as E.B. Taylor.
Yes, very good. Rohit.
I think even Aristotle
Yes.
also comes into the discussion.
Aristotle, yes.
So Charles Darwin, few people will tell. Aristotle is considered the father of anthropology. E.B. Taylor is considered as father of modern anthropology or anthropology. In this way, there is a debate. So in this debate of who is the father of anthropology, I thought I want to give this information. Finally, the London School of Anthropology had came to a conclusion that Aristotle is the father of anthropology, whereas E.B. Taylor is called as father of modern anthropology. Few facts, sometimes it might work. What is the difference between medical anthropology and biological anthropology, which we come across in the subdisciplines of anthropology? Surya.
Sir, firstly, medical anthropology deals with how modern medicine is impacted by how modern medicine research should be conducted, sir. It considers various cultural dimensions also to some extent. But biological anthropology delves deeper into genetics and proteins and other aspects of the human body also. So in that way, and also biological anthropology considers environment and human interaction. So that what makes it different, a little different from medical anthropology.
Very good. There is culture ecology. Can you tell me the similarities between culture ecology and nature man spirit complex? Whether both are the same or interrelated? What? Culture ecology and nature man spirit complex. It is an interview question, PYQ.
Sir, should I say, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, culture ecology is a concept introduced by Julian Stewart, sir. According to him, the culture is influenced by environment, and in such a way that firstly, few aspects of cultures, such as economic aspects and technological aspects, get impacted, which in turn impact other aspects such as ideological and aesthetical aspects. Whereas NMS complex by LP Vidyarthi sees it as a more integrated fashion, sir. Each are codependent on each other. Culture ecology is more like a cause and effect. It shows like a more deterministic, sir.
Okay, correct. More any answer? Yes, please.
Sir, nature man complex gives an framework for development for the tribals, whereas cultural ecology tries to explain the evolution of different cultures that different tribes have.
I will tell you some. Correct only. Nature man spirit complex. For the man, nature is the spirit. Spirit means religion. Religion is main part of culture. It's a culture complex. Culture ecology given by Julian Stewart. Culture is because of ecology. How the environment, that is called as culture. So the nature is spirit. So nature is spirit means nature is culture. So in a way, the both are interrelated concept. Here also the nature they worship like a religion. Religion is the main part of culture. Here also they believe that the culture is because of environment and environment is most important aspect. From this both we are understanding that the both are giving importance for the environments. The both are giving importance for the ecologies. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, very important this is. Who is the anthropologist for the first time advocated for visual anthropology? And what is visual anthropology? Preeti. See, I'm not asking randomly. I'm not asking randomly. This PDF I provided in the WhatsApp group. Every day in the morning itself, I will be posting the content. If you read that, I covered the holistic by looking at all the transcripts. I made this. So from that and from the PYQs, we will be discussing here. So I'm not asking random. For that, I will be giving the content also. Yes, please.
Sorry, sir, I did not go through this PDF. I will get to know
No,
more
no. This is not in the PDF. Generally, it is there. Visual anthropology. Who will tell me?
But I think Margaret Mead started it,
Very good. Very good, Roy. बोलिए और बोलिए.
and she attempted to videotape all the interviews, and even with Japanese prisoners, she did the same and analyzed it.
Very
Uh,
good. Not with the Japanese, but with the Samoan Islands.
Samoan Island, yes, Samoan Islands.
Visual anthropology. She is the first person, first anthropologist for the first time. She made a documentation, visual documentation. For her ethnography, she had produced the evidences in the form of photographs, in the form of videographs, videos. So she provided evidences for the ethnography. Hence, she is the initiator of visual anthropology for the discipline of anthropology. Yes, one more. There और एक बात था, उसका नाम है और एक बात था means one more concept is there which is called as a restudy approach. This restudy approach is studied by whom? What is this restudy approach? Surya.
Sir, even Margaret Mead only was involved in the introduction of restudy approach, sir. She again went back to the Samoan Islands to see how it changed during the time when she was away from them, sir. How it's shifted
Very good. Means what
due to
Margaret Mead,
modernization.
up to now, when the anthropologists or their schools or their ethnographies, when they were being criticized, no one tried to address those criticism. She was the first anthropologist who want to address the criticism. In order to address the criticism, she again visited the Samoan Islands and she rechecked whether her ethnography is correct or wrong. So because of which she had called us, or her approach is called as restudy approach.
Sir, I have one question. So can you also say the postmodernist approach is also a restudy where they are studying the ethnographic once again and
True. Postmodernists, they want objective form of ethnographies. They want scientific form of ethnography. So they are completely against all the ethnographies which were been written up to now. So they don't believe in subjectiveness. So they want objective. Yes. So from that she tried, Margaret Mead tried to make her ethnography objective by providing evidences. True. This content will be sufficient for every day. I will be providing you the content. Yes. Yes. How anthropology evolved as the 6 questions are PYQs of interview. For every day, we'll put in the top. How anthropology evolved as a discipline in the world. Anyone?
Yeah, I can go. So anthropology started with when the man gained conscience about himself. So it was first reflected in the works of Aristotle, where he started discussing about men and their biological features and so on. Eventually, anthropology became more synonymous to racial studies in the 18th century, where many racial studies were done, associated with associated with almost all the domains of human life, including the biological, physiological, and cultural, sociological, so on.
Very good. So, Anbu Vasan, I will ask you the question that anthropology has been evolved as a subdiscipline of archaeology, subdiscipline of sociology, subdiscipline of philosophy, and psychology. Eventually, it evolved as an independent evolution. Do you accept? If yes, why? Surya.
Sir, yes, sir, I do accept anthropology as subdisciplines of these disciplines as well, because we cannot, anthropology can be seen as an integrating discipline, sir. We cannot isolate these aspects, even though we study differently in each thing like psychology, sociology, and everything, to study humans holistically, we need a discipline, and anthropology has become such discipline, sir.
Why anthropology is called as inclusive and sustainable discipline?
So should I answer, sir?
Preeti,
Uh, the anthropology is inclusive because it considers all s- all segments of a society. It treats human beings as a whole. All aspects are studied. Um, Women, children, everybody is included. It doesn't focus on a specific segment or a section. And sustainable discipline, as I understand, it is sustainable because we will always be interested in understanding humans. There will be several challenges the society faces, and in order to face them, we need to understand how we are changing as a society, our culture, etc., to face those challenges. So it will be a sustainable discipline. I'm not sure I'm understanding the question correctly.
very good. But however, I tell that anthropology is one-sided because the Western anthropologists started studying about initially African societies, then about Asian societies. But they neglected their own societies, their own way of living, by which they thought that anthropology as a subject will be used to study Eastern world, unprivileged sections, or underprivileged sections, or marginalized sections. What do you say, Ranjit?
Yes, sir, this is true to some extent because the roots of modern anthropology lies in the racial studies, where anthropologists wanted to prove that the uh, Victorian Empire was the epicenter and the zenith of human evolution, and then they wanted to study why the other societies have not reached to that point. But eventually, with upcoming modern anthropologists like David Schneider, who studied the American kinship system, the 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 path of anthropology became more holistic, where they started studying all both Western and Eastern societies.
And I tell that anthropology is a biased society. Why? Because only bothering about villages as well as tribals. It's not an holistic discipline. What do you say, Rohit?
So it is partially true. In the beginning, it was focused mostly on tribal and village studies. But with development, the field work has even entered our home. Like in recent times, we have seen autoethnography, where persons' own personality is being studied by itself, and we also have digital ethnography, where the internet is also becoming a field for study of anthropology. So it is also moving into urban spaces, and with coming of urban studies done by Gure and all, I think anthropology is more holistic discipline nowadays.
Yes. Any questions for me? If any
Uh,
questions.
s- Sir, what should be the general line of preparation? Like in mains, we have some approaches as per looking into PYQs and deciding how to go about it.
It's about
What
question
should
and answer only. We should not go deep into the subject. For example, I asked about Swaraj model. It's a PYQ of interview. So we have mark approach, if you know, MARC approach of MN Srinivas. So this variety of approaches, we have to look into it. I asked one more question. Culture ecology, how it is related to nature man spirit complex. It is also one of the question asked to Prithvinath, Dr. Prithvinath, 2022 rank it is. Means, because of this approach, I understood that it is the approaches, it is the question and answers, it's a clarity of subject, which will give us more marks, which will give us scope for asking more questions from the interviewer in our subject. So it's a clarity. So anyhow, I have demarcated the syllabus daily what we are going to do. So you can write a few questions. You can message me WhatsApp on this number. I will be giving you the answer. I will take you on priority. Or else in the class itself, you can ask. If I know, I will be telling then and there. If not, I will take time and next class I will be explaining you. In that way, we can cover all the topics which can be asked in the interview. ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Preeti.
Sir, if there are a few concepts that we can't answer or some anthropologists we do not know about in the interview, will it create a bad impression since it's our optional and we should study all these concepts and anthropologists in detail?
No, it's not that much. For example, see, this is one PDF I prepared, another PDF I prepared for you. You see this? Ila Cara Deloria means a current.
Why so we comment?
Latour, a French philosopher and anthropologist. Mathur, PYQ. Ananta Krishnan Iyer, Catherine Batson, who are in the news with respect to anthropology. This you do. If you
Okay, sir.
don't answer then also, then 100% you can tell that I don't know. Why? Because we don't know. It's not compulsory that we should know everything.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we will be to the point, very crisp. Okay, shall I leave or any questions?